Hello everyone. In this video, we will see about C++ conditions and control flow statements. That is, if you want to give some conditions in your program, then you have to use the control flow statements. That is, to have some control in your program. That is, you have to use if, else if, nested if, switch case, right? These are the different decision making structures in C++. Here C++ supports the usual logical conditions from mathematics, and even you can say the relational conditional. That is, a is less than b, a is less than or equals to b, a is greater than b, a is greater than equals to b. It is checking whether a is comparing, that is, a is equals to b or not, a is not equals to b, right? These are nothing but the some conditions, right? And these conditions are used to perform different actions for different decisions. That is, if a is less than b, then do this. A is greater than b, then do this, right? So depending on the condition, you will be performing some action, and this can be done in C++ with the help of control flow statement. Here you can see if function. It is used to specify a block of code to be executed if the specified condition is set to true. If the condition which is given inside if it is evaluated to true, then the statements inside the if will be executed, or else they won't be executed. That is, the compiler will come out of the if the condition inside the if are evaluated to false. Here the other is else part. That is, if the condition is false, then the compiler jumps to the else part and it will execute the block of code inside the else. Else if, that is nothing but for more than one condition to be checked one by one, it will check the conditions. If the first if is false, it will go to the else if, it will check the second condition, and if it is true, it will execute the corresponding block of that else if, or else it will move to the next else if. Likewise, you can give many number of else if in your program. It is also called as else if ladder. Next comes, and if all the conditions are false, then by default the else will be executed. Next comes the switch. That is, many alternative blocks of codes to be executed, then we need switch. That is, it will compare the value with the given condition, and then if the case is matched, then it will be executed. And suppose if none of the cases are matched in switch, it will execute the default case. So here we will see the importance of if. That is, whatever the condition is given, if the condition is true, then the if block of statements will be executed. Here you can see if round brackets and condition is written inside the round brackets, and this is nothing but the body of the if. If the condition is true, then these statements are executed, and if the condition is false, then it will come out of the if function. You can see that if is in lowercase letters. It is a keyword, right? It is already inbuilt. Uppercase if is different. It will generate the error. Here we are using two values. 20 is greater than 18. So this is our condition, right, which is given inside if. And if this condition is true, then here you are writing the statement to be executed, that is cout, the insertion operator, and then the statement to be printed. 20 is greater than 18. And here if is true, then this will be executed, and if it is false, it will come out. Here you can see one more example. Int x equals to 20, int y equals to 18, and here if x is greater than y, that is nothing but directly you are writing the variable name, that is x and y, that is nothing but 20 is greater than 80. If it is true, then it will print as x is greater than y. So here in the above example, you have seen that there are two variables x and y. To test whether x is greater than y, we are using the greater than operator, the relational operator, right? And here we can understand that 20 is greater than 18, so it will be printed that x is greater than y. Now here you can say if the else statement, that is, if the condition of if is false, then the compiler will go to the else block. It will not execute the statements inside the if. It will go to the else and it will execute the block of x else part. That is, here you can see if time is 20, if 20 is less than 18 means what? This condition is false, right? So it will not execute, it will not come inside the if, and it will not execute this statement of if. It will go to the else part and it will print the statement inside else block, that is good even, right? So this here you can see the explanation. 20 is greater than 18, so the condition is false, so it will go to the else and it will execute the else state. Here next comes the else if, that is nothing but for more than one condition you will be giving else if condition 1, and if this is true, then the statements inside the if will be executed, and if it is false, then the compiler will move to the else if part. It will check the second condition, and if the second condition is true, then it will execute the block of code inside the else part. And suppose if the else if is also false, then it will go to the third else if, and if suppose third else if is there and it is also false, then automatically it will come to the else part and it will execute the block of statements inside else by default. Here you can see one example on if else, that is int time equals to 22. 22 is less than 10. So is it true? No, right? So it will not execute this good morning. It will come next to the second else if. It will see time is less than 20. Now what is happening? Time is 22. 22 is less than 20 is also false. So again it will not execute this good day. It will come to the else part, and here it will print the else statement, that is good evening. Now suppose if this value is 9, then it will come and check the first condition. 9 is less than 10. It is true, so it will execute this good. So depending on the condition, it will check the else if all the conditions and it will execute. So here you can see the explanation of the above. Next is the switch statement, that is, here you can see switch is nothing but it will select one of many code blocks to be executed. Here the expression is given inside switch. It will check the case 1. If it is matches, then this will be executed, and then comes the break, means it will stop this case over here. And if it is not matched, then it will go and check the second case. If it is matched, then this second case is executed, and if none of the cases are true matched, then by default it will execute this last block, that is the default case. So here you can see the switch expression is evaluated once. The value of the expression is compared with the value of each case, and if there is a match, the associated block will be executed. Here we can see the importance of this break keyword. That is, when C++, that is the compiler, reaches the break keyword, it breaks out the switch block. It will stop the execution of more code and case testing inside the block. And when a match is found, the job is done. That is nothing but it will execute that block and it will break that case. So there is no need of any more testing to be done. Break can save a lot of execution time because it ignores the execution for rest of the code in the switch block. If suppose the case 1 is smashed, then it will execute that block and it will come out. It will not go to the second, third, no waste of execution time. Here you can see the importance of default keyword. That is, if none of the code is matched, then this default case is executed. Here you can see in example, day is equals to 4, right? And here we are writing the variable name in switch, that is day. That is value 4 is matched with this 6. Is it true? No. So this won't be executed. This, it will check that day with this 7 case. Is it true? No. So it will not execute this 7 case, and then it will come to the default and it will execute this statement. So the output here will be looking forward to the weekend. The default keyword must be used as the last statement in switch, and it does not need a break, right? Next, one more thing. Here you can see a shorthand if else. That is nothing but a ternary operator, or even we can say it as a conditional operator. That is, here you can see this example first. Here we have int time equals to 20. 20 is less than 18. Is it true? No, false. So this will not be executed. It will go to the else and it will check, and then it will execute this good evening. So this whole program can, this, that is this if else can be written simply like this: int time equals to 20, string result is equals to time is less than 18 question mark good day, and then comes the colon and then good evening. That is nothing but, this is called as the ternary operator, or you can say it as a conditional operator. That is, first it will write the condition and then question mark. If the condition is true, then it will execute this first expression, and if the condition is false, then it will go to the second expression and it will execute the second expression. That is, here you can see 20 is less than 18, so this first expression is not executed, and it is false, so it will come to the second expression and it will execute good evening, and this good evening is stored in this variable result, and here with the help of cout you are printing that result variable, so it will print good evening. So this simple if else can be written with the help of ternary operator in this way. That is the condition, question mark, expression 1, colon and expression. Now next comes to the looping. That is nothing but whenever there is some statements or some operations that are to be executed again and again depending on some condition, repetition is to be done in a program, then we need loops in our programming language. Here you can see loop can execute a block of code as long as the specified condition is reached. That is nothing but as long as the given condition is satisfied to true. When that condition becomes false, the compiler will come out of the loop. Here you can see loops are handy because they save time, reduce errors, and they make code more readable, right? Because if you have some function, some task to be executed repeatedly, like for example 10 times, then you need to write some loop for that. It doesn't need to be written again and again for 10 times. That same statement can be written inside loop, and it will, and you have to give some condition, and till that condition it will be executed. So it will reduce your time, it will make your code very readable and very small, and even also it will reduce your errors. Now here the first one is the while loop. While is nothing but a loop, that is, while this then do this. Here you can see the syntax for while round brackets, inside it condition, and then the block. If the condition is true, then this block is executed, or else it will come out, and if it is true, it will execute, it will come here, and then again it will go, and again it will check the condition, and suppose again if the condition is true, then again this block of code will be executed. So this is nothing but the repetition purpose. We need loop. Here you can see one small example. Int I equals to 0 while I is less than 5. See out I, that is I is 0 first here, right? Now I is printed as 0, then again it will come here, it will check I plus plus, and then it will make the value of I as 1. Again it will go back from here, and again it will check the condition with the value I as 1. 1 is less than 5, true, then again it will come, again it will print the value that is 1, and then again it will increment, and now again the I becomes 2, then again it will go back, again it will check the condition, then again it will print, and again it will increment the same way till 4. Then again it will make the value as 5. Now what is happening here? This 5 is less than 5. The condition is becoming false. The condition becomes false. Then it will come out of the while, right? Now here you can see, do not forget to increase the variable used in the condition, otherwise the loop will never end. That is, this is must I plus plus, you have to give it here, or else the loop will not end at all. It will continue till infinite. Next is the do while loop. Here in the while, what was happening? First you were checking the condition and then you were executing. Now in do, first it will go to the do and first it will execute the block at least once, and then it will come and it will check the condition, and if it is true, then again it will go back to the do here, and again this block is executed, then again it will come and check the condition till the condition becomes false, and when this while condition is false, it will come out of the loop. So that is nothing but the loop will always be executed. The do loop will always be executed at least once, and if the condition is false, the code block is executed before the condition is tested. Now here you can see I equals to 0. Do see out I is printed here. So before checking the condition, first with I as 0, it will print this I, and then it will come and increment I plus plus, and then it will go and it will check the condition, that is I is less than 5, semicolon, it is true. Then it will go back, that is I became 1 here, right, because of this plus plus. So 1 is less than 5 is true, so again true, then again it will go to the do and again it will execute till the condition becomes false. It will go on incrementing and it will go on executing. Now 5 is less than 5, the condition become false. It will come out of the loop, and here again you have to increase the variable value or else this loop will not end. Next, the third loop is the for loop. That is nothing but when you know exactly how many times you want to loop through the block of code, then you will use this for loop. Here the syntax of for loop is for round brackets statement 1 semicolon statement 2 semicolon statement 3 and then body of the for. So here what is happening, statement 1 is executed and then it will check the condition, and if the condition is true it will execute this thing, so this will be the third step, and then again it will go back and this is your fourth step, that is it will increment or decrement the value, then again here it will check the condition, that is this will be the fifth step, then again if it is true it will execute this and again it will increment or decrement, that is it becomes likewise. This for loop goes on repeating till the condition becomes false. So here you can see I equals to 0 is the initialization, semicolon I is less than 5 condition, then semicolon, then I plus plus, and then you are writing the body of the for. Here this is the first step. Second step, that is 0 is less than 5 is true, then I is printed. Third step, then again it will go here and again it will increment the value of I, that is I plus plus, so I becomes 1. Now here again it will check 1 is less than 5. Again it will print the value 1, that is it is true. Then again it will come here, again I plus plus, that is I becomes 2, so on. This for loop is repeated. So here this is the initialization you can see, and then I must be less than 5. Till that time it will be executed. And statement 3 is it will increase the value each time the block in the loop has been executed. Now here you can see one more example. If you want to print only the even numbers, then I equals to 0, I is less than or equals to 10, I equals to I plus 2. When you are incrementing the value of I by 2, then it will be printing the even numbers. That is I is 0, 0 is less than 10, true. I is printed, that is 0. Then next comes I plus plus, that is nothing but I plus 2. That is 0 plus 2 is 2, so true. Then again it will print 2. Then plus 2, so again it is 4, so it will print 4. Then again 6, so till this condition becomes false, it will go on printing the value. So all these were the control flow statements in C++. That is to make decisions we need if, nested if, else if ladder, switch case. And for repeating the purpose, repeating some task in the program, we need looping construct. That is while loop, do while loop and for loop. So hope you understood the control flow statements in C++. So share and subscribe the channel so that you will be getting more videos on C. Thank you.